hiding.
I'll go and
She's got the camera off.
Record. All right. So I guess we have no chair, so I'm kind of the chair. So I guess we'll call the meeting to order at 1:35 on February 24th.
Yes.
We'll do call to order. Mackie, we have Mackie, Kent, Cindy, Paula, Norma.
Hey, Scott, Mackey's going to call the roll.
Okay. Oh yeah, we can hear you this time. So
we worked on it. Okay, Paula Crocker.
Here.
Alma Doherty.
I'm here.
Margaret Harding is here. Kent Harding.
It's here.
Cindy McLean.
here.
Mary Jane Peterson.
She's not in there anymore.
yeah.
Norma Sikowski.
She's here. I see her.
Where'd she go?
She was.
She's right here.
There she is.
I think she's just on mute.
John Thomas.
He's not here.
And Cheryl Winston.
She won't make it. She sent an email. And,
Okay,
So she's
in excused absence.
yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right. And then we have review and approval of prior minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look those over? Is there any issues?
I don't understand you.
Next on the agenda, we have the review and approval of the prior meeting minutes.
We have
Did everybody have a chance to look those over? Is there any issues? Norma,
they be approved.
I think you're on me. I see you talking, but we can't hear you.
Scott, I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
All right. Do we have a second?
I second. Did you hear?
No, now we hear you.
You are.
All right. Then I guess anyone against? Probably the easiest way to go about it.
I think I'm supposed to roll call.
We can do, yeah. Go down.
Yes, no, or abstain. Paula Crocker.
Yes.
Alma Doherty.
Yes.
Margaret Ann Harding. Yes. Kent Harding.
Yes.
Cindy McLean.
Yes.
Norma Solkowski.
Yes.
John Thomas. Cheryl Winston.
Oh, she's not here.
Oh, that's right.
Her and John, yeah.
Okay.
So they're carried. They're approved.
All right. Do we have any citizens' comments? All right, we can move on. Communications. As you guys all know, we got the 5310 van grant. I just attached the agreement for you guys. It's a fairly lengthy document. Basically, that's just our agreement with the state to receive the funding. So we're getting closer and closer to actually being able to purchase the vehicle. I believe it's May, I think, is when we can actually go out and get the vehicle. And I think they release the funds. We're finishing up our Title VI plan that we need for the grant. And then we should be pretty much squared away with what we have to do so far for the grant. And I think the next step will be getting the van itself and then the reporting that we'll have to do after.
A little louder, please.
All right. And then the next thing we have is the CARES Act grant that we applied for last month. We did get that. So we got $2,300 through the CARES Act grant to buy ID printer, scanner, like another webcam for the big room.
Scott?
Huh?
Got a question. What's going on? Give me a minute here. I don't know what's causing the problem. Okay, there we go. A question on the grant, because I was trying to read through that. I did not read the federal and state regulations in entirety, but from the contract with the town, I thought we were going to use that for general transportation for the seniors in parks and rec, but the way I read it was it's limited to seniors and disabilities.
Yep, so the Park and Rec use that we're intending would be for like to bring the Special Olympics team to a baseball game. So it would be used under the grant for senior citizens or those with disabilities.
Okay.
And then once it's out of the grant period, it can be opened up and used, you know, pretty much for anyone and can go anywhere. I believe also that we'd be stuck to within Connecticut with the new van, which is why we keep one of the old vans. So we have a van that can go out of the state.
Now that grant, is that a 5-year limitation?
Actually, I believe, I want to say it's a 4-year is what they say is the useful life of the van. And then after 4 years, we don't have to, continue putting in all the reporting and all that, to the federal government. Essentially, they then turn the van over to the town. For the first 4 years, I believe the van's in both the town and the state's name. And the insurance also has to be, we have to meet their insurance requirements with them, I believe, as the lien holder.
But you do think that's, we would not be able to use that to go to Rhode Island then?
No, that's why we keep one of the old vans. So we're going to sell the oldest van and keep the newer of the two. And that'll be the van that we can use if we do day trips to go to Rhode Island or anywhere over the border. And then within Connecticut, we'd use the new van until it's past its useful life under the grant period, at which point we'd be allowed to take it out. All right. Any other questions on the communication items?
For Mary, I do have a question because the way I read it, the grants were 80% and the town has to provide 20%. Has that been agreed to as part of the budget?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, so when we were writing the grant and getting ready to submit it, it went before the town council and they approved, for the matching portion of the grant. And they also approved to, allow the mayor to submit the grant. All right. So next we have reports. I have the director's report. I have our Wednesday lunches on there. We're continuing to do well. We're almost at $1,500 in revenue for the year, which is pretty good. That's pretty much our only revenue at the moment. We don't have a ton of classes running, and we don't have our breakfast and lunch, our cafe menu. So it's just the takeout meals right now. We just kind of went over the van grant. We're finishing up our Title VI plan. And then the mayor actually just gave me the agreement page signed so we can get that all sent in. Talked about the CARES Act. The fiscal year 21-22 budget, I met with the mayor and no cuts so far. We're having the budget work session when the finance committee will be on March 11th. They're asking only the department head comes into the annex. Everybody else attends on Zoom. Even like for Monica, she would attend on Zoom and only I would actually go into the annex. They're trying to do a hybrid due to COVID. So I know the mayor asked me to ask you guys if anybody wants to attend, just make sure it's, to use the Zoom link and not come in person with the COVID restrictions. And I can send out a link when I get it for that meeting if you guys want to attend. For the COVID vaccine, we've been trying our best to help seniors. We keep getting more and more information, which is making it slightly easier as we progress. VAM system's fairly difficult to navigate, and likely they've added a few new ways to register and added another call line for Ledgelate itself. And actually, I think we just found out about a clinic I think they have in Waterford. We just got the form. I haven't been able to look through it yet, but I think that we might be able to actually have people call. We can take the information down on the form and then submit that form for an appointment. I still got to look through it because we just received it, but that hopefully should be a big help to be able to get people who are having trouble registering for the vaccine.
Scott,
Mm-hmm.
the clinic they have at Mohegan Sun,
was very easy to register for.
Yep, and we have that one on our list too, because is that through yeah, not
My chart.
then, yep. So if people have that, we've been trying to push them that way because the My Chart app has been incredibly easy compared to the VAM system. The VAM,
Yeah, because I tried the
takes so long.
VAMs and all those other ones, and it was just ridiculous, you
Yeah.
know. And then you pick on an appointment, and by the time the computer refreshes, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the multiple step verification has been a lot of trouble, and then the fact that you can only use one email per person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scott?
So we did the Mohegan one through My Chart and got on our appointments tomorrow, and we did it like less than a week ago. So
yeah, I'm here. We've been trying to push everybody now to either the Mohegan. There's one at Mitchell College, which I've heard is very, very good. And then now apparently there's a new one in Waterford. I believe it's at the either their town hall or their professional buildings over there.
Scott,
Yep.
how are you reaching out to people? Because many people aren't on Facebook. And I'm just curious that there's a whole body of people out there that need help.
And that's one of our worries because we don't have contact information for everybody in town. So we can only we have our phone numbers that we have. So we've been calling people. Ginny's been making phone calls, and asking how they're doing, seeing if they need help with the vaccine, that type of stuff, if they need transportation. But as far as those that aren't on our call list, it's difficult because we don't, really have information to contact them. We have work, Colleen has housing. She's able to kind of talk to everybody over there and get an idea of what's needed there. But it's really, if you know anybody that's having trouble that we haven't been able to reach out, please give us a call. Because there's definitely, I would assume, people out there that are having difficulties that we don't have a contact number to reach them. So until they actually call us, it'll be kind of difficult to be able to help them.
Have you asked the people you are getting in touch with if they know of anyone who needs help and if they have a way to contact them?
I can ask Ginny if she's doing that. She has like a few things we listed to kind of hit on, and then it's where the conversation takes her. But I can see if maybe she'll ask if there's anybody that they know that is having trouble, and maybe we can reach out to them as well. Because we want to try and get everybody in that 65 plus and the 75 plus age group in, as soon as possible. Because once they open that next age group up, it's going to be even harder to get appointments.
And that next phase is opening on Monday, I believe, March 1st.
Yes, March 1.
So you're right. When they open the next phase, then that's just that many more people trying to get in to get it.
So hopefully, they've been good with the numbers and using the vaccines that they're getting, so they continue to get them from the federal government. So hopefully that will continue. I think Connecticut's on a good track right now compared to some of the other states. So we're starting to take technology appointments as well. And this is another thing that if people are having trouble getting registered for the vaccine, you can kind of help them during this appointment. The thought is they could call if they have to use the VAM system. We'll put everything into the system with them and then set up for them to come in a day or two later. That way they get the confirmation email to actually set up and schedule an appointment. But we're also going to go over, they can come in and bring a laptop, tablet, phone, any type of, device that they might use. And Francesca will meet with them one-on-one to show them how to navigate, Zoom, use Facebook, check their emails or set one up if they need it, answer any other tech questions. And then, we can help them get registered on one of the vaccine systems at that time as well. And then,
Scott, I just wanted to comment that today, if anybody gets the Wall Street Journal, there's a very nice article about Connecticut and the way they're handling the vaccines. And they're going by age. They're not going by essential workers in grocery stores or changing all the rules and complicating it. They're making it as simple as they can. And so they're applauding our state because they're doing so well with with the vaccines, and people are getting vaccinated here. So
Yep.
I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because you know, if we're not handing it out, they won't keep sending it to us. We have to use what we get before they'll give us more. So.
Well, we're using it, and
Yep.
it's working.
And then the last one's wellness checks, which we went over already. Does anybody have any questions on anything on the director's report? No? Alrighty. Next is we have commissioner comments. Does anybody have any comments?
Scott?
Uh-huh.
I wish that we could start holding the meetings again at the senior center. I find this very frustrating, sitting in front of a computer screen. That's my comment.
So hopefully the numbers they're moving in the right direction right now. So, I mean, when we get a little closer to the next meeting, I can look at it and, you know, maybe we try to do a hybrid meeting. You know, those that aren't comfortable can do it on Zoom. If people want to meet in person, maybe we'll meet.
Who makes that call? Is it Ledgelight?
It'd probably be me. I mean, we'll have to do a hybrid if we do meet in person per the executive order from the government or the governor. But I mean, I can ask the mayor, just make sure, you know, he doesn't have any issues with us meeting in person.
Maybe it'll be warm enough we could meet outside.
Yeah, because he has allowed me to meet outside, you know, for Parks and Rec. But it's indoor. I'll just double check with him and make sure he's okay with us.
Well, I certainly endorse that. And I think by that time, most people will have been vaccinated that would be at the meeting, and certainly not a problem to social distance.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is why we might be able to do it next month, is by that time, most of you guys should be vaccinated. So
I am. Both.
That was Jean Castus. Every time I talk to her, she'd say, "Have you heard? When are we coming back?"
Yeah, I know. I think she called me when she had the needle in her arm still to tell me, "Scott, I got the second shot. I'm ready to come back."
Yep. Yep. And she called the mayor, and she called Ledgelight. She got all notes.
Boy, we're ready to have you back, but not just yet. Hopefully soon.
Well, by April, we probably should be, you know, to do it definitely by April, I would think.
Yeah, I'm looking at a bunch of things now to start slowly opening things back up, because we're, I think, getting closer to that point. Hopefully by May, with the vaccines, we'll be in a lot better place.
Hey, Scott, who has the final say? Because we've got governor and then local officials and Ledgelight. Who makes the final determination in terms of how many people can be together in what location and under what circumstances?
So that comes at a state level. It's kind of confusing. It depends on what type of event, what type of activity, what facility you're in. That information comes from the state, the DCD. And then also, depending on what you're doing, there might be guidance that you would have to follow from the Department of Public Health as well.
So they're the ones that are limiting us getting together.
Yeah, so you got the governor he gives out the executive orders, which most of the time will have, you know, the generic capacity limits, such as, you know, 100 people for outdoor, maybe 20 people indoor. And then the DCD has the sector specific guidelines, which, you know, could have percentages of the building, you know, and get into further, you know, requirements based on what you're doing. It becomes more specific.
So Ledgelight is not a factor then?
So Ledgelight, their main responsibility essentially right now is the state gets the vaccine and then they're handing it out to the local health departments. So the local health departments are kind of running the vaccine distribution within their area, and then they're also handling like the contact tracing. They give like health recommendations. There might be something in the guidelines I get from the state that says consult with your local health department. At what point I would go to them and get, input from them on how they want us to proceed. It's just a giant chain that, slowly goes down. It kind of depends on the situation of who you have to talk to.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Scott, do you know if the mayor has a new assistant yet?
Not yet. He just returned from vacation, I believe, on Monday. I believe the job's posted, so I think they're going to be starting interviews shortly, but he hasn't brought anybody in yet.
Okay, thank
Looking
you.
for a job, Cindy?
No, I'm just thinking of it because we have LISAF coming up, and usually his assistant is the one who brings the cases to us. So I don't know if the mayor's going to do that or how that's going to work or what they're doing right now. So no, I'm not looking for a job.
All right. Any other commissioner comments? All right. So under old business, I made the changes, I believe all of them, unless I missed one, to the commission rules and procedures. Hopefully now that should be all corrected.
So we're giving final approval on that then?
Yep. Yeah, unless there's any other changes you think we need to make. I believe I made all of the changes you guys gave me at the last meeting. So unless there's anything else you guys catch, I think we should be able to approve it as final. I think even put at the bottom, revised on versus draft, because I think we're at that point that it should be ready for approval.
So
Okay,
you
I
wanna
didn't
wait
print it out
for us to
again.
approve it and then you'll print it and give it to us?
It should be, yeah, and it should be in the packet today as well.
It was attached, Scott.
Just good only people.
Oh, you haven't? Has everybody read that?
I'm all set with it.
What'd you say, Norma?
I said, I'm all set with it. Do we need a motion?
Yeah.
I move we accept the Senior Commission rules and procedures as revised.
I'll second that.
All right.
Gonna need a roll call.
Yeah.
Mackie's still writing, so hold on a minute.
Norma moved and Kent second. Okay, ready? Paula Crocker?
Yes, sorry. Had a cat issue. I did read them and I approved them.
Alma Doherty?
Yes.
Margaret Ann Harding, yes. Kent Harding?
Yes.
Cindy McLean?
Yes.
Norma Sarkowski?
Yes.
And John and Cheryl are absent, correct?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Approved.
Form, yep. So the motion is approved.
All right. And then the next thing on our list is the election of officers. We need to elect, we have a chair, vice chair, and a secretary. So I talked to Roxanne, what you do is we can nominate, someone would get nominated and then you need a second and then they would be put on, the ballot for us to vote. If there's two people, you can vote for both of them if you want, but if we have a tie, she said to then restrict it so you can only vote for one or the other. And it depends on if we have, that's only if we have multiple people nominated for the same position. If we only nominate one chair, vice chair, secretary, we can vote on all three at the same time. The whole slate. So I guess I'll open the floor if anybody has any nominations.
I'd
Chair?
like to nominate Kent Harding as chairperson.
We have a second.
I
Oh,
second.
write this down.
All right, send me a second.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other nominations for chair?
I nominate Norma for vice chairman.
Then we just chair now.
All right. So no more for chair. All right. So for vice chair of Norma, do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
All right. Was that Alma second?
Yes.
All right. Any other nominations for vice chair? None? All right. And then next we have secretary. Any nominations?
Paula,
Yes,
did Mary Jane tell me that you were going to volunteer?
I will volunteer.
Okay.
You got to nominate her.
I nominate Paula Crocker. Thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't want to nominate myself.
Yeah, you can't anyway, so somebody else has to nominate you. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Scott?
All right. Any other nominations for secretary? None? All right. So actually, this makes our life a little easier. We only have one for each position, so we can vote to approve the entire slate, unless you guys would prefer to do them individually.
I think you can, I'll make a motion to close the nominations and vote for the entire slate.
All right.
I'll second that motion.
All right. Mackie, do you want to do the honors?
Okay, so this is voting for the entire slate.
Yes.
Could you repeat the entire slate, please?
Yep. So for chair, we have Ken. Vice chair, we have Norma. And secretary, we have Paula.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are we ready?
Yep.
Paula Crocker,
Yes.
Alma
Aye,
Doherty,
whatever.
Yes.
you vote for the slate?
Yes.
Yes.
Margaret Ann Harding, yes. Kent
Yes.
Harding, Cindy McLean,
Yes.
Norma Sarkowski,
Yes.
and the other two are absent. Okay, so anybody want to tell me how to write this down?
I will help you out.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
like
the
wording.
motion and the slate is approved.
All right. And I don't have anything else on the agenda unless you guys have something you'd like to add under new business.
Scott, you'll let us know if we want to zoom into the budget meeting, or can I tell you now?
Yeah, so I'll just send it out to everybody. I don't have the link yet, but as soon as I get the Zoom link, I'll send it out to all the commission members if you guys want to join. Because I know typically most of the commission will show up to support in person, but with this year of COVID, they want remote, participation with the exception of the department head.
Hey, Scott,
Hmm?
how are we doing on those, for lack of a better word, the electronic check-in with the cards?
So that was the CARES Act grant that we just got approved. So we now got approved from it, and we got to buy the items and then submit for the reimbursement. But we did get approved for that funding, so we'll be actually, I think, buying that before the end of March. We should have all of that.
Now, is that going to be on the talent software, or is that just within the senior center parks and recreation?
It'll be it'll work with the senior center park and rec software that we have. It'll integrate right in. So all the, the members that we have, the accounts we can actually make into like a membership specifically for the senior center. And it would use the same account that you would use to register for Parks and Rec and the senior center programs. But we would basically give you a membership option to be a member of the senior center.
Do we have access to all of the seniors in Ledyard?
Like as far as like contact info?
Well, first off, just getting names and addresses so that if nothing else, we can email. I mean, not email, but regular mail.
Snail mail.
Yeah, the issue is we only have who's come into the senior center and filled out a membership form. We don't have like a general database of just, all the seniors in town.
Would Mary, do you know if the town has that information?
No, I don't. You mean according to age, like?
Everybody 55 and over was what would be.
Yeah. I don't know if that, Karen, do you know if there's a list anywhere? Karen Getches?
Yes, I do not think so. That would be for the mayor, but no, we don't list people by age that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we don't have a mechanism for determining who would be qualified or
the other possibility would be the registrar of voters. I don't know whether when you register, you give your birth date. That's another possibility, but then can they give that out?
Right, that may not be public knowledge. I think just by advertising that it's available and out there and it's, on a volunteer basis is your best bet.
Perhaps we can get something in the next town magazine.
Yeah, well, what do you want in the magazine? I mean, because we do put pretty much, all our transportation, the programs. I think it has the commission meeting day and time, lunches.
That's not what you're looking for.
No, what I'm thinking of, Scott, is a request for them to contact your office and provide the information so that we can accumulate a list of quote unquote qualified seniors, residents and 55 years of age and up, and then hopefully develop a contact list so that, and I'm thinking if we could possibly somehow or another do it with a contact list, maybe we could facilitate the next round of the COVID vaccinations or the other
when we have to do boosters.
Yeah, boosters or whatever. But I'm looking for some means that we can put together some kind of contact list for particularly for qualified seniors.
Yeah.
Has the new magazine already gone to print?
Yeah, we already submitted all the info. I don't know if they sent it out yet. Actually, is this the newest one? But we did turn everything in already for the next one that's coming out, if it hasn't come out already.
Well, when they used to give flu shots out at the senior center, how did we let everybody know that that they were giving them? Because I mean, there used to be lines for people, so even people
word of mouth
go. By word of mouth. Then they were all there. So I don't know if we could just ask everybody or ask people who go there if they have friends or things like that.
Could we get it into church bulletins?
We can try.
Maybe
a lot
libraries.
Aren't meeting right now.
Library, yeah.
Can you put it on the Ledyard forum?
Yeah, I mean, so we have pretty much everywhere. So I think essentially you want them to fill out our registration form so they'd get put in our system.
That's what I'm thinking of, Scott. It may, what I'm thinking is if you're a Ledyard resident, you're 55 and up, you're an automatic member of the senior center. And then we can look at somehow or another of putting a staggered type of membership. So a list of qualified, Mackie said qualified. So just getting that initial list of qualified people, and then we can, once we can contact them, then we can develop programs that might appeal to them and get them to come in as members.
Yeah, I mean, we can try our best. We're always trying to get.
Let them know that we wouldn't be just higgledy-piggledy giving out their information to anybody call and say, hey, do you know where Joe Jones lives? And, you know, that wouldn't be what we do. Is like, okay.
Okay, we got it.
Take a message and give it to him, maybe.
What about putting it on the Legit forum?
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, we do periodically put, you know, so essentially it's registration for the senior center, which we're always trying to get new members. We're just finishing up the registration form, and then we're trying to actually have everybody refill it out. So we had updated information, which would be a good time to start pushing for people that aren't a member to become a member as well.
I think it would be really helpful to have the forum, Facebook, get it into the magazine. It may be too late for the next edition, but
it's every 4 months, 3 months.
But you know, we should use every channel that we have. And my thinking is, like Mackie said, it's not an attempt to make their information public. We just want to have contact information, and we can say that it's not going to be used for solicitation or anything else. Just to let them know what's available through the senior center for people that qualify in that category.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can definitely do a big push, because that's especially when we open up too. We want to try and get people back in the building. So
I still think we should use the libraries or church bulletins. There's a lot of people that aren't going on the forum.
Yeah, because we post a lot on the forum. It's, I think that the group we're trying to really hit is the people that aren't online or on our list already.
They said church bulletins.
You could put up flyers in the different restaurants.
A lot of people do not want to either give out information or, I'll say, be bothered. Why don't you just list some of the programs when you open up to and have them come if they're interested, as opposed to we saying, you know, sign up for this. Say, here's what we have to offer. If you're interested, call.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's essentially what we were doing before we kind of closed too, because, you know, we promote the programs and then hope that, you know, brings them in.
Right.
Is there a fee for our membership?
What do you say, a fee?
Yeah, for the membership in the senior center? Is there going to be? There hasn't not been one, but
no,
there isn't going to be one, right? It's just,
no, I didn't have any plans to charge.
You're just a part of it, and you sign up and with this new machine, and you get a card. So that
Yeah, the card's basically just to allow for contactless sign in, sign out, and then it helps us. I mean, everybody that's a member is in the system already. We would then just be able to give them a membership card on their account as well, so they could actually just swipe it instead of writing a signature on a piece of paper. Allow for contactless, you know, check in, check out. You know, if we had a fire drill, we could see who was in the building at that time when we walk out the door.
Right.
Now these cards, are they just made like to put in your wallet, or do they have a hole that you can clip it and wear it around your neck, or?
I mean, we might be able to make a hole. We haven't got the cards or the printer yet, but it'll be like an ID card, a little PVC plastic card that you could, you know, stick in a wallet.
Credit card kind of thing.
Yep, and we're even, I think, looking, the package that we got has a little camera that would take a, you know, a mug shot that would actually go on the ID as well.
Oh, great.
Print it right out. All right.
Okay.
Do you have anything else, or ready to join?
nobody has anything, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
it.
I'm gonna put Alma down because she hasn't had anything.
Okay, that's fine.
I add.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Okay.
See you next month.
Bye, everybody. See you next month.
We'll have to,
Out
we have to
at
vote,
the
we have to
senior
vote for
center.
it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we have to motion, right? We only have a first and a second.
Okay,
I think you could just say all in favor, raise your hand,
Yeah.
it'd be easier
and
to
we can
say,
wave goodbye.
anybody, say either, anybody opposed.
Hmm.
Okay,
All right.
All done.
See y'all next meeting.
See you guys next month.
You.